Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahil musta'ani wa alayhi tuklani wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi وأصحابه ومن تبعه إلى يوم الحسان. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I greet everyone níbikíbi tí a bá wà wípé àlàáfíà Ọlọ́run, ìkẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó máa bá gbogbo wa gbé. Today's topic, as you can see it on the screen, is an emergency program because what happened in Kano, I have received many calls, and what happened in Kano, we are here again tonight to discuss about what happened in Kano, because it may happen to any one of us, and never laugh at someone's situation, because you never know what tomorrow keeps for you. You may find yourself in the situation or position where Sanusi Lamido found himself today. Some people are celebrating after the dethronement of Sanusi Lamido, the EMIR of Kano, now former EMIR of Kano, why others were not happy with what happened in Kano. This life, you cannot win every argument. So that is the nature of the world. Tonight, a ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àlàyé. There are some people, they ask me, Alhaji Awwal, why it is possible, or why it is possible for governors in Nigeria to dethrone EMIR. Some ask me why governments impose power on themselves or on the governors in some states, then why they can appoint and also remove any governor or any king or Oba in Nigeria. So, so I will answer all those questions. Then why, what happened between the Ganduje, the governor of Kano State, and then Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi Lamido? So what happened before the dethronement? So that is why I'm here tonight. And as before I proceed, so as you know, the way I anchor my program, so I will give a little bit of introduction about today's topic. Then I will go to the body of the message. Then I will read the press release of legal team of Sanusi Lamido after the announcement of deposition of Sanusi from throne of his ancestors. Then I will explain within the information and investigation and some information I gathered myself as a journalist. and some of the inquiries so I made. That is why I titled my own topic as 18 reasons why Ganduje dethroned Sanusi Lamido. So some we understand the reason why it was removed. You may have some other information that you have read on social media or whatever. So this is exclusive information. So why Ganduje removed Sanusi Lamido? Then we shall discuss about how Sanusi Lamido himself defended himself. So after the deposition, so we shall discuss about this. Then what people say about the dethronement, so the failings, so the controversial issues tí àwọn èèyàn discuss lé lórí, we shall discuss about this as well. Then Sanusi Lamido instructed his legal team to sue the government of Kano State. So how Sanusi won the case of gaining his freedom, because after he was dethroned, there is something we call banishment. So that is, he must be in one village, so where the government is expecting him to spend all his life, so without freedom of movement. So and he has won that case. So he has already won the case. So he has left the village where the government airlifted him to. That is in Nasarawa, in a village called Awe. So from Loko to Awe, then now he has regained his freedom. So, and he left Nasarawa, he moved to Abuja, from Abuja to Lagos, and also is planning to travel to New York. Then we shall discuss about the story of King David, because that story is very similar to what happened in Kano. So the Quran and Bible discuss about the King David. So how King David defeated Goliath. So we shall discuss about this. Then for the government to remove Sanusi Lamido, it is not a new event, because it has happened in the past to some of the kings, even some of the obas in Yoruba land as well. There are many kings that have been removed by the government. So we shall discuss why the government have power to remove this king or emir in Nigeria. We bring 11 dethroned kings, so and explain today before we finish our program. Then my advice, I have a special advice for Sanusi Lamido, so which we shall discuss about this tonight. Then I have a special advice for the women in Nigeria regarding to Nigerian politics. So I want to encourage women to come out to contest as a president in 2023, because it's very, very close. So they have to get themselves prepared against 2023, because men have ruled Nigeria since before the independence. So from 1960 to the present, so all men that they have ruled Nigeria, they achieved a little achievements. So because the reason why I call it little is because people are still suffering, so things are not going well, and economy is unhealthy. So So we shall discuss about this. Then we end our program for today. So that is what we have for us tonight. Before you can understand today's topic, we have to go back a little bit to the history. So history, because we have to know the root about all these governors to remove a king or emirs in Nigeria. So in 19 no, before I move to in 19, let me start from from 18. So in 1850, so the British they used trade politics so to influence African politics, including deposing rulers who stood in the way of the lucrative palm oil trade in the 1880s. So as you know, before we discovered this crude oil, so in our country they have been trading palm oil and some other things that they used before the discovering of crude oil. So competition with the French colonial power in Africa prompted a policy. So this policy shift, and also then in 1882, so the northerner and the southerner protectorates were established. So they established all this in order to understand how they have been ruling themselves traditionally. So when the British they arrived our country, before they founded Nigeria, because they founded Nigeria through the Lord Lugard's wife, Mrs. Flora, so gave us Nigeria. So because they joined Niger area together and becomes Nigeria. So during the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, so European leaders they determined who had right to what they define or tag as spheres of influence. So the two protectorates, that is the northern and southern. So that two protectorates were joined together in 1914. So under the British government. So under the British Governor General that we had that time was called Frederick Lugard. So Frederick Lugard and the colony and protectorate of Nigeria was established. So Lord Lugard instituted a policy of indirect rule. So through native authorities who collected taxes and performed other local administrative tasks. So in the north. Then Lord Lugard, he worked hard. So through the Fulanese ruling classes, so who used the British in order to retain their power and also to acquire wealth, because rulers were no longer accountable to their people. So corruption and poverty so spread so among our people that time. Then many Muslims began to see the Fulani leadership as pawn. So a sentiment echoed today by members of Islamic movements towards northern leadership. So British favoritism towards Muslim combined with Hausa Fulani advances into the middle belt, so which led to the widespread conversion to Islam. So at the same time, so a rising African, we have some African intelligence, particularly some of the graduates of Christian missionary schools. So we have explained this before, that when the British came to us, they brought colonization and Christianity. So they introduced Christianity to us in Nigeria. Islam already spread before the arrival of the British in Nigeria. So don't forget this. So the graduates of Christian missionaries, so they established some schools. Then they began to challenge the British rule in the South. So they started challenging them. So in the South, then Christianity spread rapidly. So at the grassroots level from the 1860s onward. So in large part due to the mission education system, then colonial administration encouraged conversion to Christianity in the South. So that is when some of our forefathers converted from Christianity to Islam, some from Islam to Christianity because of the education. So they want to have Western education. So especially most of the Anglicanism. So as part of their mandate to civilize African Mission School. So now became training grounds for the intellectual, commercial, and then military elites. So who tended to be promoted by the British colonial government, and who will be at the forefront, so of the nationalists. So this happened. So now, what I'm trying to say is this: that before the British colonial master arrived, so Yoruba land, they have their own obas, known as Alaafin of Oyo. After the Oramiya left Ile-Ife. So, and they have seen that Alaafin of Oyo has Oyomesi. They are just like kitchen cabinet ministers. So then in the eastern, the Igbo people also, they have their own king. And Hausa people, they have their own emir. So they title their king as emir. That emir is an Arabic word from Amir. Amir is an Arabic word which means leader. So because after the death of Prophet Muhammad, then Abubakar ruled Medina. Then after Abubakar died, then Umar ruled, Umar ibn Khattab. This Umar, he introduced something called Amirul Mu'minin. Amir means he is the leader of the people who have faith in God. So Usman Danfodio now copied that word, Amirul Mu'minin. So Usman Danfodio, he trained some of his students in about 18th century, like 1804. He trained some people and he asked them to establish their own hamlet. So among some of his students were all these Emir of Kano, Emir of Lafia, Bauchi. So he sent many of his students out to establish their own kingdom. But he instructed them that they have to be using the word called Amir, Amirul Mu'minin. So the white people corrupted that word Amir to Emir. So, but after Usman Danfodio died, so his brother, who became the next emir, they used Sultan for themselves because they are the leader. So Sultan means the supremacy power. they now allow their students to be using the word EMIR. So that is why the Sultan of Sokoto is very powerful. So he is the one. It's like he is the controller of all the Hausa states emirs. They are under him. So this has happened since about 18th century ago. So that is why you will never hear emir in Sokoto. They use sultan. So Sultan of Sokoto is a title for whoever become king. So sultan is very, very powerful than emir. So emir of Kano, emir of Zazzau, emir of Ilorin, emir of Zaria, emir of Lafia, so emir of Bauchi. So you will see that in Adamawa they use Lamido because they are Fulanis as well. So we shall discuss about that one later. But in Borno State, they use Shehu. Shehu means Sheikh, the scholar, somebody that is knowledgeable. So when Usman Danfodio sent some of his band to them, they have discovered that Islam has already spread in Borno. That is why they left them. So, but some other area like Kano, Bauchi, as I said, so they used to introduce Sharia and also introduce Arabic school, Islamic school, and also they are the controller. So they control all the activities since that time till now. So now you will see that Sultan of Sokoto is very, very powerful than Emir of Kano. Sultan of Sokoto is very powerful than Emir of Lafia. Is very powerful than Emir of Bauchi because all of them, they are under his authority. So now the dethronement of Emir of Kano, Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II, is presently on social media. Is on fire. But what I mean is the social media is full of all this information about how it was dethroned, all this, but not as I am explaining in details to you now. So I do not know what were his crimes to make the governor of Kano dethrone him. So, but we thank God that Sanusi sue IG, he sue Inspector General of Police in Nigeria, and he sue DSS and Director General as well, and then Justice Chikere of the Federal High Court Abuja has ordered his immediate release. So immediate release of Sanusi, and he has gained his freedom as I speak. And also he has left our local government where they banished him to settle. So in Nasarawa, because that is where Ganduje planned for him to live all his life. So we thank God that the law in one region of Nigeria so worked out. So according to the information and investigation so I made so far, the laws in one region of Nigeria never supersede that of the whole country, to the point whereby one civil rights are removed without any regard. The removal of the emir and its banishment to Awe in Nasarawa State so had attracted widespread condemnation from many Nigerians. So many Nigerian former presidents such as Chief Olusegun Obasanjo and Gen.Abubakar Abdussalaami and other Nigerian prominent scholars, politicians, critics, journalists, political observers, world leaders, among others. So many people, they have called me, requested my comments So I told them that may I take my time. When anything happens, so we have been trained not to be rushed. So because the news, any breaking news, that is why if you are monitoring the way I present my news, you have seen some news in brief. So because we have to get our facts before we can come out to present any program. So so I gather my information through the investigations and information I gather from media, from newspaper, from television, so and some other source of information, and I called some of the people who are involved, so to find my facts. So then I wrote these special stories to present on this program. So many observers, they have described Sanusi's removal from throne as illegal and reckless action. The challenge to Sanusi's power raises broader questions in Nigeria and beyond, because leadership in the world uh, is very, very sensitive. So very, very sensitive. And leadership is amana. Amana means trust. When you have been appointed as a leader, if you are a king, you are a leader. If you are a president of a country, so they entrust power on you. So if you are imam, they empower of leadership on you. If you are a pastor, you are a leader of a church, so they empower authority on you. So you will give account how you discharge your authority. So you will give account. So leadership is required quality. So quality of leadership is very, very important before we can appoint somebody to be our leader. So before I go further, I think I need to go into the Quran. The reason why is this, because there is a verse in the Holy Quran, because that verse so is relevant to what we are discussing. That verse is about the kingship. So if you check Quran 3, òun ló ń sọ verse 26. Quran 3 verse 26 says, ó ní kul lahumma malikal mulki. Ó ní kul lahumma malikal mulki. Ó ní tu'til mulka man tasha'u. So watanzi'u mulka mimma tasha'u. Mimman tasha'u. Watu'izzu man tasha'u. Watudhillu man tasha'u. Ó ní biyadikal khairu innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. So ìtumọ̀ ni pé ó ní say, O Allah, Lord of all dominion. So that is ọba tó níkápá ọlá. So you give dominion to whom you will, and you take away dominion from whom you will. So God has already destined that Sanusi Lamido will become Emir of Kano. He became Emir of Kano in 1914, and he was removed on the 9 March 2020. So this verse is relevant to him to let him know that It is God that appointed him before they decided. It was former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso, appointed him as a governor 2014. So it is God that take away dominion from him, because God said that he take away dominion from whom he will. And you, Almighty God, uh, so you gives power or dominion to whoever you wish. So because he is very, very powerful God, so you are the most powerful God. So Almighty Allah gives power to whom he will and take power from whom he will, and he endure with honor whom he will and humiliates. So God have power to humiliate whom he will, and he is the giver and taker of power. So this Quranic verse encourages Sanusi Lamido to thank God for the favor of Almighty God. So for him, even his name has been on record. So for him that he ruled Kano. So for certain period. So that one is already in the history. Nobody can erase that one. This verse is very, very powerful, and also we also can learn from what happened to Sanusi Lamido, because the reason why Almighty Allah revealed this verse is when people was expecting the prophethood among the Israelites after the Jesus was being hung on the cross. So, and then after 570 years, so Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca, and he began his mission. So, and some people were not happy. So why Muhammad, unlettered person, somebody that cannot read, that cannot write, how God could offer them prophethood, something like that. So that is why Almighty Allah revealed this verse in the Quran, that the dominion of power or leadership so belongs to Almighty God. So Sanusi became Emir of Kano 2014, as I said, by Allah's will. He was appointed by Rabiu Kwankwaso, so former Kano, former governor of Kano State, and he was removed on the 9th. So by Allah's will. So through Ganduje Umar Abdullahi. So for some reason, so which I will give details on this program. So God knows the best for Sanusi. He has accepted his fate, because Sanusi Lamido also he has released his comments after he was dethroned. He released a brief video about less than 5 minutes where he said, I quote, "I accepted what happened to me in good faith." So he has accepted what happened to him, and also he never challenged the dethronement, because he said he will never challenge the dethronement. That is, he will not challenge the governor to restate the throne, because he believed that that is how God what happens, he believes that is from God. So God knows better about it. So, and also he has released many information regarding to the next step. So about what happened, many of his friends advised him to sue Kano State government, because They never gave him enough time to defend himself regarding to the allegation that he embezzled the fund, the public fund in the Kano State Emirate, and also they want to know how he acquired such wealth, all those and that, and also he criticized Ganduje publicly, according to the media and according to the governor himself. He said he accused him publicly. So, the main importance of the event is he has regained his freedom, so he can move to anywhere he likes, unlike Dasuki, when Abacha dethroned Dasuki. So they banished him in Kaduna. So he was unable to travel to Sokoto. So, and also there's another man called Mustafa Jokolo also was dethroned. So, and also they moved him as well to Nasarawa. So I will give details later. Now, what happened? So I want to give details about what happened officially, so for record. So Ganduje Abdullahi, the executive governor of Kano State, dethroned Mala Muhammadu Sanusi, so as the emir of Kano. So Sanusi was dethroned, arrested, and banished to our local government. So on exile as asylum. So as asylum. But he has regained his freedom, as I said. So because after the ruling of the Federal High Court in Abuja by Justice Chikere, so Kano State government said that Sanusi Lamido dethroned over the insubordination. Insubordination means that he disrespects the law of authority. So that is the terminology the government officials used, the reason why he was dethroned. Then Sanusi was forced out of the Kano on the 9th March 2020. They forced Sanusi out of the palace, flown to Nasarawa by the security operatives, fired tear gas to disperse a crowd as they escorted the deposed emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi. The Kano State government announced the second son of the 13th emir of Kano, that is Aminu. So Aminu, who is now newly appointed emir of Kano, is Aminu. This Aminu is second son of the 13th emir of Kano, that is Ado Bayero. So Aminu was appointed. So Aminu now is the 15th emir of Kano. So after the removal of Sanusi Lamido. And Sanusi was banished, as I said. So after arriving Nasarawa around 3 a.m. Tuesday, so that is on the 10th March 2020. So he was airlifted by a helicopter. So Aminu Ado Bayero, the son of Mr. Sanusi's predecessor, who ruled Kano for more than half a century, so until his death in 2014, so has been chosen as the new emir of Kano, so by local authorities. That is, Ado Bayero became emir of Kano in 1963, and he died 2014. So then Sanusi Lamido became the 14th emir of Kano. So why he was sacked? So why he was sacked? Because these are the questions which we need to think with our sense, and also to ask ourselves, so why was he sacked? So the government said that he was removed. So the reason, I'll give you the official reason, what government said first. So the government said he was removed to safeguard the culture, tradition, religion, and also prestige of Kano Emirate. So accusing the deposed emir, so that is Sanusi, that they said he is a total disrespect of institution and government office, and also he degrades or criticized the present emir of Kano publicly, according to them. So the newly appointed emir Aminu Adubayero, so he was the emir of Bichi before they appointed him as new emir. So this Aminu was emir of Bichi. That Bichi is a local government in Kano. So, and this Aminu is one of the Adubayero's children, as I said. So this Bichi is one of the controversial new emirates, so created by Governor Ganduje Abdullahi. It is a move to curtail the influence of Mr. Sanusi, who had consistently criticized his policy, so in Kano. So the secretary to the government of the state, that is the secretary of Ganduje, so his name is Usman Alaji. So he made the announcement, so accompanied by the 4 Kano Emirate kingmakers at the Kano Government House on Monday 9 March 2020, so in the afternoon. So the Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi, too, is one of the Nigerians' most influential Muslim traditional leaders. So in the olden day, many people describe the Emir as a precious symbol of the tradition. Please take note this my point very well. So in the olden days, many people, they described the emirs as a precious symbol of the tradition and also culture of people. But today, some northerners have come to see them as the lead pets of politicians, rather than as the heritor of pre-colonial Islamic authority. So that is, if you check a 1999 constitution, Nigerian constitution, before all the traditional rulers, so the government, they have less power. So that is, their power is limited to control our emir, our obas before the arrival of British, as I said in the beginning. But after they left and they review our constitution, then they have already added in our constitution that the governor of a state, they have power to remove any emir. They have power to remove any obas in Yoruba land, because Yoruba is south. Then in the eastern parts of Nigeria, among the Igbos as well, so they have power to remove their Eze or whatever. So that is why we have seen many governors, they have removed many EMIR in the north, and we have seen many governors in the south, they have removed many kings. So, like the father of the president of Alaafin of Oyo, Obalamide Adeyemi, so his father was dethroned by Awolowo. So, and Sultan of Sokoto, Dasuki, so dethroned by General Sani Abacha. So, a ti rí àwọn eléyìí pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí. Then the Emir of Kano formerly ranked third after the Sultan of Sokoto and the Sheikh of Borno. Sanusi was a controversial public figure long time ago before becoming Emir of Kano. So Sanusi Lamido, some of the political observers or some critics, they described Sanusi as a radical student of Ahmadu Bello University. So in the 1970s, with dual training as a banker and also as an Islamic intellectual. So he has knowledge on Islamic studies. So he was trained as a banker and also as an Islamic intellectual. And if you recall, you remember that Sanusi Lamido was former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. So during the during the regime of Goodluck Jonathan, so he served as a CBN governor from 2009 so till 2014. So when he became Emir of Kano. If you remember, Goodluck Jonathan, he fired Sanusi Lamido 2014 after the leak of correspondence where Sanusi questioned Jonathan. So he questioned Jonathan about an alleged $49 billion. So missing oil revenues. So the money got missing, and the government said they don't know how the money got missing. So as a CBN governor, so he challenged Jonathan. So all these caused problem and rift between Jonathan and Sanusi Lamido. So in the end, he was fired. So there was a controversial issue on the particular figure of the missed money, the figure of the money. So Sanusi Lamido became the Emir of Kano 2014, as I said, so appointed by Rabiu Kankazo, so the former governor of Kano State. So Mr. Sanusi left no one in doubt that he was coming into Kano Emirate as a reformer, because Sanusi was not happy the state of the Kano Emirate. Remember, his grandfather, Sanusi's grandfather, also ruled Kano as Emir of Kano between 1953 till 1963. So Muhammadu Sanusi won. So after he was dethroned by Sir Ahmadu Bello, he was dethroned. His grandfather also was dethroned in 1963. So can we say the history is repeating itself or what? So after he was dethroned, then Ado Bayero became Emir of Kano, the father of the new present Emir appointed by Ganduje. So Sanusi was appointed as Emir by Rabiu Kankazo. Mr. Sanusi, as I said, that because he set out to reform the traditional institution in Kano, and also he extended the institution to be like a public interface or interface. So Sanusi reformed the architectural and other heritage of Emir's palace in Kano. So Sanusi is a mediator of social change. So he introduced internal opposition. So, and also he engaged government publicly on matter policies which are against the culture of Kano, and also against the political class. Mr. Sanusi, the former emir of Kano, so at various times, so he criticized the state governor. So he started criticizing, he criticized the Ganduje, and also he criticized federal government. So he criticized their policy in Nigeria. So many occasions he has criticized Muhammadu Buhari, the present president of Nigeria. So that is why when some people ask us about what Buhari said when this happened, Buhari denied. He said the presidency is unaware that even Sanusi was removed. Then later, they twisted the story. They said that the presidency was not involved, how he was dethroned. But in our constitution, so no governor can remove any prominent or first-class emir or king without informing the federal government, because it may cause uprising and revolts. So because, as I said before, all these emir king, before the arrival of the British, so everyone governed their territory, so their land and their people. So, but in 1914, as they merged all the tribes together, that Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, we have to march together and put the power in the central. So federal government control all the states. The state in Nigeria now is 36. So they receive allocation every month from the federal government. So each governor, so who decide to remove king or emir, he must inform the federal government. So if you are saying federal government, the leader now, or the president, the first citizen in Nigeria is Muhammadu Buhari. So Buhari was informed. So, and Ganduje is a very close friend of Buhari. If you remember, when Ganduje was involved in corruption, collecting dollar from some of the investors in Kano, so the investors recorded the video secretly and they posted it on the social media. So, and they set up panel. So Sanusi was not happy. He criticized him. So, and then because he is a very close friend of Buhari, so the case went down, because Sanusi was expecting the EFCC to terminate his appointment, and House of Assembly in Kano also to take legal action against him. But so everything went down. So that is why some of the observers said that Buhari aware of the dethronement of Sanusi Lamido. Sanusi Lamido may not be in good term with Buhari, because there's something also happened when Buhari was sick, when he was in London. We had information from reliable source that Sanusi told Vice President Yemi Oshibajo that if Buhari die in London, so he requested from Vice President to appoint him as a Vice President. So, but after Buhari returned to Nigeria, some of the loyalists of Buhari exposed this secret to him. And Buhari was not happy with Sanusi, but he cannot remove him. So, at that time. So, there are many things that, that is happening within the corridor of power among our leaders. So, Sanusi, personally, you will see that he's a very intelligent guy and outspoken, and is an educationist. His father also was ambassador, so in Nigeria. So, and Sanusi is an economist, and also is Arabic scholar, and also he against societal dogmas and cultural practices in the northern Nigeria, which generated enemies and caused his dethronement from the throne. So the removal of Sanusi Lamido as the Emir of Kano has impacted more negatively on Nigeria than on the former Emir himself, because many observers, they have described the removal of Sanusi Lamido as illegal and reckless action. Femi Falana also, I watched his program on the TV. He said the action is illegal as a senior advocate of Nigeria. So because he said Sanusi must be given enough time to defend himself regarding to the allegation before any action. So he was not been given any enough time to defend himself. So before he was removed. So the challenge to Sanusi's power raises broader questions in Nigeria and beyond. So SSG, so Secretary to the State Government of Kano, he added to his press release or information or the reason why Sanusi was removed. So he said that because Sanusi was not cooperating, and also the reason why they removed him is to safeguard the culture of Kano, and also to safeguard religion and prestige of Kano Emirate, which they have built over thousands of years. So Sanusi, as I said, that Sanusi opposed all this, the reason why he was removed. The Secretary of the government, this Usman Alaji, so announced the removal of Sanusi Lamido from the throne. So at a press briefing on the 9 March 2020, which I have the copy as a pressman. So the Kano State government says that Sanusi he breached the Kano State Emirate law of 2019, which may destroy the image of Kano Emirate. if left unchecked. If left unchecked. The newly Emir Aminu Adobayero was appointed. Appointed as the new Emir of Kano, as I told you. Then this Aminu was elevated to the rank of Serikin Dawaki by Sanusi Lamido. He was elevated to that rank, so by the Sanusi. After Sanusi turbaned by the former governor, so Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, 2014, as I said. So Kano State government appointed the new Emir, Aminu Adobayero, on the recommendations made by the 4 Kano kingmakers and approved by the State Executive Council in Kano. Now, let us look back again. So into the history. So from the British authority, removal of Emir of Zaria. So Emir of Zaria was removed in 1902. So if we look back into 1902 to the military regime of late General Sani Abacha, so late General Sani Abacha's removal of the Sultan of Sokoto in 1996. So Nigerian rulers, they have intervened, so to depose or elevate hereditary rulers when they felt political necessity demanded it. The emirs were pillars of British indirect rule in post-colonial times. The traditional rulers has been supporting the Nigerian politicians in many of their activities and get contracts. So the reason why most of the governors disrespect the emirs is because most of the emirs, they are looking for contracts. They are looking for juicy appointments, maybe for their children or whatever. So, and that is why they lose value, they lose respect from all these governors and the president. So power does not just run in one direction. So Kano's governor, Abubakar Rimi, that is Abubakar Rimi, if you remember, he was a governor of Kano. So Abubakar Rimi learned this in 1981 when he sought to resist the power of Adobayero, who reigned from 1963 to 2014, as I said. He decided to create new emirates. So Rimi's project was greeted with protest. They protested in Kano. So, and in 1983, so Rimi's successor reversed the order. Then Governor Alero, he removed Emir of Bandu. So after Usman Danfodio, after he died, Abdullahi and Muhammadu Bello, they divided the Sokoto into 2. So that is when they created Bandu. So Bandu is in Kebbi State. So Governor Alero, he removed Emir of Bandu, that is Mustafa Jokolo, and banished him in Nasarawa, as this Ganduje did to Sanusi. So they moved Mustafa Jokolo to Nasarawa. As I said, that late General Sani Abacha also, he removed Dasuki. So Sultan of Sokoto, they removed him from power in Sokoto and banished him in Kaduna. So he settled in Kaduna. So if Ganduje removed Sanusi, so it is not new. So it has happened before. And as I said, that even his grandfather was dethroned, so in 1963, by Ahmadu Bello, Sir Ahmadu Bello. So before Nigeria fought for the independence, our traditional rulers were powerful. They were very, very powerful. So after the independence in 1960, followed by the democratic system and military government, so the status of traditional rulers changed in the southern, in the eastern, and in the northern parts of Nigeria. So the emirs and the kings finally lost power to the government administration. So this is the answer of those people who ask me question that how can a governor remove the prominent king or prominent emir in Nigeria? So your answer is this. So the entire king and the emir, so all their power in the eastern, in the southern, and in the northern, so they have lost their power to the government administration. Because the governors, they are seeing all these emirs and king and obas, they are seeing them as what? As public servants, because the governor pays their salary. So the governor released fund so to run the emirates. So, and also some of them visit the governors all the time. Some of them, they are lobbying for the contract, all this and all political appointment. So that is why the governor, they have power to remove them. So in fact, even they can seize their international passport as well. So they have power over them. So in a pre-colonial Yoruba society, so a deposed king was expected to die from spiritual perspective. So Yoruba, they used to say that without death of a king, so he cannot have successor. So that was in the olden day. Tọ́ba kan bá kú, ọba kan kì í jẹ. So níjọ́un nìyẹn o. So lẹ́ni ọba kan ò kú tí wọ́n fi gbé ọba míì sí orí oyè. And then I will tell you the reason why the idea of banishment. Because before, if you remember what happened between Afanja and Oba Aule, Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́ kan tó ń jẹ́ Ọba Aule, you will discover that when Afanja sent a message, a dangerous message, that is Iroko, that Afanja is coming with his warriors to dismantle Oyo Ile. Before the arrival of Afanja and his warriors to Oyo Ile, so what Oba Aule did, he poisoned himself. He killed himself. So, because àwọn believe pé káwọn ṣe akin, tí wọ́n bá gbọ́ pé even ọba kan tó bá wọ́n fẹ́ yọ òun, he may just poison himself. But àwọn tó níyì o, láéláé kò sọ́ba kan tó fẹ́ kóhun ó kú nísìnyí tó láwọn ọmọ, ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbádùn mọ́tò, ó fẹ́ gbádùn ilé ayé. So the idea of banishment, so àwọn òyìnbó náà introduce ẹ̀ sí wa, which is very good. Pé why tí ẹ bá fẹ́ yan ọba kan, okay, tẹ́ bá yọ ọba kan kúrò, when you remove any king or emir, so instead of allow him to be living in the same city where the new king has been appointed, it may cause riots, it may cause uprising. That is why the British colonial master, they advise our people, our forefathers, that they should move the dethroned king or emir to another state or to another far village where there will be no any communication between him and the new king. So that is why, so this idea of banishment, as Ganduje instructed the security to move Sanusi Lamido to Awwal in local government, is just to safeguard the riot uprising. And that is how the British colonial master advised us. So that is why they included it in our constitution. So that is what they do till now. So the idea of saying that, as I said, that a deposed king or Oba, Toba Kamba ti kú, so without death of a king, he cannot have successor. So as I said, that is in the olden day. So the idea that says a deposed king or Oba or emir should be made away with jetison. So during the colonial period by the British, who considered the practice unpleasant. So against the background of the discontinuation of the old practice British, so the British brought the deposition to banishment. So to save the lives of king or emirs. That is why. And also, second, also in order to establish peace, to reign, so in the city, nǹkan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀ nìyẹn, so that peace can reign. So when an emir is deposed, so it is the government. So that is, the government decides where he will live. So that is why they moved Sanusi Lamido. They forced him out of the Kano Palace and moved him to Nasarawa. And Nasarawa State, they have instructed them as well. So that is why he received all those good reception from them. And Eli Rufai, the governor of Kaduna, he really show a great commitment and kindness to Sanusi. In fact, he spent a lot of money, and also he helped Sanusi to pack all his belongings, and also he helped him to move him. He sent many security men to him. So after he won the case in Abuja, he regained his freedom. So he helped him to move him from Awwal to Abuja, then from Abuja to Lagos, including all his family and Sanusi's mother. So Sanusi's mother is still alive. So we appreciate El Rufai for doing that, because when something happens, as I said in the beginning, never laugh at somebody's condition. So you don't know what tomorrow keeps for you. So so that is what happened. Now, Governor Abdussalaami, he called emergency meeting. So he called for emergency meeting, that is council meeting. So the announcement of Sanusi also available to me as a pressman. So in the press release read by the secretary of the government, so that is Usman Alhaji. So in that press release, that is where the Kano State Executive Council under the chairman of His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has unanimously approved the immediate removal of the Emir of Kano Muhammadu Sanusi. So I won't be able to read all the press release to save time, because we still have some other important thing to discuss as well. So, but there is something very important that I need to mention. So, according to Usman Alaji, the secretary to the Kano State government, I quote, "It is on record that in so many instances, Mala Muhammadu Sanusi too has been found breaching Part 3, Section 13, in brackets A to E of the Kano State Emirates Law of 2019. That is, Sanusi Lamido, they accused him of breaching the law of Kano State. So Part 3, Section 13, so 1 to A to E in bracket, so of the Kano State Emirate Law 2019, and which, if left unchecked, will destroy the good and established image of Kano Emirates. So these are some of the allegations. So ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n fi kan Sanusi Lamido, and in that press release as well, so they said that Abdullahi Ganduje called on the general public to remain calm, law-abiding, and to go about their normal businesses, while the new emir will soon be appointed. So then Usman Alaji, secretary to the government, said that the appointment was done, so in square to the powers conferred on the governor in Section 1133, subsection 1 of the Emirate Council Law. That is saying that the governor, they have power to remove any emir. So I gathered some information, so and some other information, so how he was dethroned, or why he was dethroned. In that press release as well, so they said that the invitation, that is, some of the time they sent invitation to Sanusi to attend some official meeting. So Sanusi refused to attend some of their meeting. Now, I have to tell you something important here now. So, on the 8th, Sunday, 8th March, they sent a letter, an invitation to Sanusi Lamido to come to Government House on the March 9, 2020 to attend a special meeting. So that is to receive his sacked letter. So now, this is what happened to his grandfather as well in 1963. So his grandfather, so Muhammadu Sanusi I. So the invitation, so to me, so I see that invitation sent to Sanusi Lamido too. So similar to the invitation that was sent to his father, so late Emir Muhammad Sanusi I, which he received about 57 years ago from Sir Ahmadu Bello. So he was a firm and tough, very, very tough monarchy, that his grandfather. So the leader of Northern Region government, So after a controversial and bitter investigation into the finances, they accused his grandfather about finances of the Emirates, which Ganduje also accused Sanusi of, that he embezzled the fund of the Emirates. So Sir Ahmadu Bello also accused his grandfather, so that he mismanaged the finances of the Emirates. So led by that time, so you know, when we are talking about in 1963 when he was deposed, so that time, because he became emir in 1953, so before we got our independence, so British colonial master, they are still in Nigeria. So after the controversial and bitter investigation into finances of the Emirates, so led by British administration, David Moffett, that's the name of the British man that was involved in the investigation. The old emir was invited to Kaduna, that is grandfather of Sanusi was invited to Kaduna. So it was a journey of no return. Journey of no return. So unknown to the emir, that is grandfather of Sanusi, so a letter for his sack letter, so was already on the table, and the then governor of northern region, so Kashim Ibrahim, who was asked to see on the arrival of Sanusi I in Kaduna. So the emir was made to resign on account of the Moffett's report, that is British man. So based on his report that he must resign, and was immediately exiled to Azare. So Azare is a village. So that is where they banished his grandfather. Azare now is in Bauchi State right now. So Sanusi I Dambayero, so that is the name of his grandfather's father. So Sanusi I Dambayero was a famed tough monarchy, as I said. He ruled Kano from 1953 and he was dethroned in 1963. So can we say the history is repeating itself or what? Because similar scenario that happened to him happened to his grandson, so Sanusi, so today. So now, so few hours after the dethronement of Malam Sanusi II by the Ganduje, so the Kano State has announced the new emir, as I said. So Aminu so became the new emir of Kano. I will mention the name of the 4 kingmakers in Kano for record. So the 4 kingmakers of Kano Emirates. So Serikin Dawaki Mai Tuta, so Alhaji Bello, so Tuta. Then number 2, Alhaji Makama Kano, so Abdullahi, so Serikin Bayero. Òun ni ẹnì kejì. Ẹnì kẹta Serikin Bai, so Mukhtaru Adnan. Òun ni ẹnì kẹta lára àwọn kingmakers ní Kano. And ẹnì kẹrin òun ni the number 4 is Madankin Kano, so Alhaji Yusuf. Alhaji Yusuf Nabahani Sigeri. So all of them were present when the secretary to the government of Kano State, Usman Alhaji, announced the appointment of new emir, Aminu Adubayero. as the 15th Emir of Kano. So now I will now talk about the house of arrest. So where they took Sanusi Lamido to, as I said. So Sanusi Lamido was forced out to a village. So before they decided to take him to Loko. That Loko also is in Nasarawa State. So, but few minutes later, they changed the arrangement. They concluded to transfer him to Awe, as I said. So, but according to my investigation, so all the State Commissioner of Police, Commissioner of Police Bola Lunge, and State Security Service SSS, so counterparts, were at the government house to receive Sanusi Lamido. So according to investigation, so my investigation revealed that the prominent personalities, including Aliko Dangote. So Dangote also is one of those people that they suggested that they should not take Sanusi Lamido to Loko. So because it's a village. So concerning of amenities, so that is why they decided to take Sanusi Lamido to Awe, so that village, so where they banished him. So, and it was gathered that Awe is better than local village in terms of amenities, as I said. So, and they arranged a 2-bedroom bungalow. So, they arranged a 2-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom bungalow for him where he will stay. So, but we thank God that he has regained his freedom. So, how he regained his freedom? Sanusi Lamido also have his own personal lawyer, and he instructed his legal team as well to against his banishment to Nasarawa. Then I have copy of the press statement by the legal team of Mala Muhammadu Sanusi on his illegal dethronement, deportation, and banishment to Nasarawa by the Kano State government. I won't be able to read all the text, but in the beginning he said, "Gentlemen of the press, a very good afternoon. I thank you for coming to our offices this afternoon for the press briefing on behalf of our client Muhammad Sanusi II, who was yesterday morning, the 9th day of March 2020, deposed as Emir of Kano by the governor of Kano, Dr. Abdussalaami Ganduje, who claimed to have acted on a resolution of the Kano State Executive Council. The statement read that he said, "This action is our view as illegal and unconstitutional. The Kano State Emirate Council law, which was recently enacted by the governor or by the government of Kano State, does not give the State Executive Council or the governor of Kano State the powers to unilaterally remove the emir." So ó sọ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Usolobe. I won't be able to read every page because we have some other things to discuss, very important. So the last paragraph, so it said the legal team of His Highness working both in Kano and Abuja, and unless he is released immediately, so we will be taking appropriate legal action. So Sanusi Lamido instructed his lawyer, and also he himself have a daughter who is a barrister as well, Sanusi Lamido. So he has invested much money on all his children, on education. So his daughter worked with some legal team, and they sued the Nigerian government, or they sued the Kano State government. So, and then they fought for the freedom of Sanusi Lamido, and on Friday, so they won the case. So after they won the case, then that is when Sanusi Lamido left the village, and then El Rufai, governor of Kaduna, helped him so to move all his belongings. So after Jumat prayer, because Sanusi Lamido led a prayer, Friday prayer, congregation prayer in Awe before they left. So that is how he regained his freedom. So now the next thing to discuss now, that is our title. So why? So Ganduje, or 18 reasons. So 18 reasons why Ganduje dethroned Malam Sanusi Lamido and announced Aminu. So I worked hard to write this story for us, because this is not toy. So it's this is a very sensitive, sudden event, because no one will be happy that even if Sanusi Lamido is happy, because he said he has moved on, he is not ready to challenge. So number one, there's a very so there's a conflict between Sanusi and Ganduje, the governor of Kano. So number one, the post-EMIR, that is Sanusi, criticized the policies, the policy of the Kano State government. As I said, also he criticized federal government, that is Buhari. So in his many comments, particularly on economy, so on economic policy, the economic policy that we have in Nigeria is unhealthy. So as an economist, and also with experience, who has been appointed as CBN governor in Nigeria, so Sanusi is not happy with the state of our economy in Nigeria. So many occasions, so he criticized federal government and also criticized Kano State government, and also he discussed about poverty issue, which has the highest rate in the north. So Sanusi said that the poverty rate in Nigeria is 100%, but in Kano or in the northern part, generally, he rated the poverty in the northern part as 80%. He said it. So that's why the poverty is so high in the north. So he advocates and also encourage northerners who are in the government or who acquire or attain higher position to look into this and find solution. So all this created problem. He created problem for himself, for him criticizing the economic policies or economic policy, because it has been complaining about the Alumanjiris, that why all these Alumanjiris and why people all this how people allow the street children. How can you allow your children to go and beg for money all the day or every day? So that thing is tarnishing the image of Kano. So, and most of the northerners, so they were not happy with Sanusi because he is the first emir of Kano, so criticizing their people and many things that it was many issues that he raised. So were true, but in Nigeria, so truth is bitter. So this is the first reason why he was dethroned. So this caused his removal from the throne. That is number one. Number two, in my findings, so in August 2016, the deposed emir of Kano, Sanusi, censored the government's foreign exchange climate, and he described it as unhealthy for the Nigeria economy. So in December 2016, he criticized Nigerian government as well for making a $30 billion loan request. So $30 billion loan request. So leading to a public reaction by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So that is number two. Number three, in April 2017, so the deposed emir, that is Sanusi Lamido, so he criticized Ganduje Abdullahi, so the present governor of Kano State. He criticized him in Kaduna, so for his plan to borrow money from China, because the governor was planning to borrow money from China, from a bank called Exim Bank in China, to fund a metro project. So as an economist, so Sanusi said there will be no benefit from borrowing such money because the project will have no benefits or profit for Kano State. So the remark angered the Kano government, so led to his closure, the relationship between the Kano State government and Sanusi Lamido. After he criticized Ganduje, so then they closed their relationship. So that is Ganduje and Emir Emirates, generally, particularly Sanusi. So they were not in good terms since that time till now. So that is number three. Number four, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo and Alhaji Aliko Dangote, so and some other prominent Nigerians, they tried their best to be involved in reconciling the Ganduje and Sanusi Lamido, to create a good relationship between them. That is not good. How can governor of a state and the emir of the whole state, so having unhealthy relationship, all this and that could cause many problems in the state? So they tried their best, but Sanusi Lamido said that all his statements were reversed. So that is number 4. Number 5, the Kano State launched a failed probe into Kano State Emirate Council. So the Kano State Emirate Council's finances, Department of Finances, or Department of Finance, so they appointed some committee auditors to investigate the finances in the Emirates, in the Kano Emirates. So, and due to the Sanusi's criticism of the Kano State government, they criticized Sanusi of extravagance and embezzlement of the Kano State Emirate public fund. So, and they set up the probe, the committee, but later some of the prominent Nigerians, they stopped that committee because they have seen that the committee will not achieve anything, because this guy was spending his own personal money to do certain things in the Emirates. And also, you know, Sanusi is well connected with some other people that they are assisting him. So, and they thought that maybe he's using the Emirates fund. So these are parts of the reason why he was dethroned. Number 6. So governorship general election of 2019 in Kano, so also affected the position of Sanusi Lamido. The Kano government officials, they accused Sanusi Lamido for supporting opposition party. So you see the politics now and emirship, you will understand what I've been saying now in the beginning. So the Kano government officials accused Sanusi that why Sanusi was supporting PDP. He knows that Ganduje is APC. So, and Ganduje and Buhari, they are in the same party. So you will see where the problem came from now. So Sanusi is supporting PDP against the incumbent, All People's Congress, APC. So the fearless Sanusi Lamido did not deny the accusation. So why the PDP supporters made every move to show their solidarity with him. So Ganduje has declared the winner in a controversial results of the election results announced by the INEC. So Sanusi becomes a great enemy of Abdussalaami Ganduje, the governor of Kano State, and the Ganduje now vowed that he will remove Sanusi from the throne, and it dethroned Sanusi, so on the 9th March 2020. So, and that is the fact. Number 7. So before I move to number 7, some people, they ask me that why EMIR, they are involving themselves in the politics, all this and that. So there's no way they could escape from that, because when governor of a state is interested to continue in the seat of power or on the seat of power, he must liaise with the EMIR, because the EMIR, they know that they have power, they have authority, so they know how they speak to their people. So that is why they have to use them during the election. So, and then they will promise them that if they win the election, so they will give them some of the juicy appointments. So this is how the EMIR and the politician works together in Nigeria. So number 7, but the problem, if the governor is supporting opposition party, it may create problem for him. So number 7, Ganduje hurried legislation tearing up the Kano Emirates. That is, he divided the Kano Emirate into 5 because of Sanusi. So, with additional first-class emir in Bichi, so, and he appointed Aminu. This Aminu that now appointed as emir. So, they appointed Aminu as emir of Bichi, and also they created Gaya, another local government. Then the emir for them. Then he created Rano and Karaye. So the government announced the post Sanusi as the chairman of the State Emirate Council. All the efforts to stop the creation of new emirates remain futile. So with the government, because Sanusi was not happy how Ganduje was trying to create some other emirates. It's like he want to reduce his power as emir of Kano. So, but Sanusi's efforts so failed. So, and this also contributed to the reason why Ganduje removed Sanusi Lamido. Number 8. So the dethroned emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido, also he refused to recognize the new emirate created by Ganduje. So he never spoke on the matter publicly before his dethronement. But with my investigation and also reliable information I have, so Sanusi was not happy with the creation of all those new emirates, and this created problem. So which affected so his position as emir of Kano. Number 9, the history repeated itself. So the Nigerian politicians have the upper hand. So on the emirs, as I said, so Nigerian politicians, they have upper hand on the emirs or king or Oba in Nigeria. So this relationship means that succession question sometimes turns on the politics so of the moment. So as Sanusi reportedly desired the Emirates his entire life, because Sanusi, since he was born, he's been planning how he's going to become emir in Kano. So because Kishebubu Omoba Nijoba, so not all the children of a king become king. So when a king died, they have to choose one. So because his grandfather, as I said, so Sanusi's grandfather was emir of Kano, so Muhammadu Sanusi won. As I said, that he had been deposed by the northern politician. So you see, so because Ahmadu Bello deposed his grandfather, so his grandfather became emir of Kano in 1953. That time, in favor of Ado Bayero, so the elders Sanusi younger brother. So that is that his grandfather dethroned because of Ado Bayero. Sir Ahmadu Bello had love for to be one of the emirs of Kano. So they dethroned him. So because of Ado Bayero, the father of the present one now. So, but it took special circumstances for Sanusi to succeed his great uncle. So, Ado Bayero was uncle to Sanusi Lamido. So that is number 9. What I'm trying to say here is that the history is repeating itself, or what? So that is my own personal opinion on that. So number 10, when Ado Bayero died in 2014, the father of the present new one now. So Kano's elected governor was Dr. Rabiu Kankazo, who had recently moved from the ruling party. So, because Kankazo is a member of a PDP, so then he moved into opposition coalition, the APC. Then Kankazo had a long-running conflict with the EMIR. So some of the Kankazo supporters accused the late Ado Bayero of favoring Kankazo's rival, so Malam Ibrahim Shikarau. If you remember, so Ibrahim Shikarau also was one of the governors in Kano. So Kankazo Shikarau's rival had shaped Kano state politics since Nigerians returned to democracy in 1999. So Kankazo served one term as governor from 1999 to 2003. He worked with Olusegun Obasanjo, so only to be defeated by Shikarau in 2003 to 2011. And then, so mount a comeback to win a second term. So 2011 to 2015. So Ganduje's action by removal of Sanusi have already earned him the displeasure of other key Muslim leaders in Kano State and also beyond. So because 4 prominent Salafi scholars like Malam Aminu Daurawa, so Commander General of Kano State, Hisbah Board also has resigned from the Ganduje's government. He resigned from Ganduje's government because he dethroned Sanusi Lamido. So it may affect his government. So, and also up to including Sultan of Sokoto. So if you discover, you see that Sultan of Sokoto never comments on this thing. So I will tell you that in another video. So the Sultan has not even see this thing as a very big something or big event, so on the Ganduje Sanusi's conflict, but as one Nigerian intellectual has argued, so the Sultan and other major northern Nigerian emir must be aware of the implication of Kano situation has for their authority. You will see. So, because one of the observer said this in the media, he said, if this could succeed now, that is, as they dethrone Sanusi Lamido and nothing happened, so tomorrow the governor of Katsina may wake up and say, I have given money and emirate status, or Funtua and emirate status, or the governor of Samvara may wake up and say, I have given Gumi an emirate status, Anka an emirate status, or governor of Sokoto may wake up and say, because I came from Tambua, so I give Tambua an emirate status. This means everything is bastardized, and the moment you abuse the tradition and culture of people, what you are doing is that you are disregarding the integrity of that institution. So you are throwing dust into their face. So think about this. It's a very big issue, and politics is a very big issue, because you will see. So now, that is number 10. So number 11, So since the post emir and the governor Ganduje fell out, so that is since the conflict between Ganduje and Sanusi Lamido. So Mullah Muhammad Sanusi Lamido has not attended state functions and official meeting. It is true, he said it. He refused to attend any official meeting of the government house because there is a rift between him and Ganduje, a very big conflict. So, and which the government said amounted to total insubordination. So they have said it in the press release I read before you recently. So they have said that the reason why he was dethroned due to over insubordination. So insubordination is another term which means, if you check your dictionary, disrespect authority. So number 12. So Sanusi refused to appear before a panel investigating allegation of corruption against him. They invited him, the committee invited him to defend himself. He refused to attend that meeting. So he refused. He refused before a panel investigating allegation of corruption against him, and also did not down well with the government. So Ganduje accused Sanusi of selling property of the Emirates and mismanaging funds, but the post emir Sanusi Lamido secured a court order stopping the probe, as I said, and some other prominent Nigerians intervene into that matter. So, number 13. So, Ganduje removed Sanusi because he spoke on the underage marriage. Sanusi has been complaining that this is not good. So, this is barbaric. So Sanusi criticized them on the issue of underage marriage. So some of their daughter underage, that is before 18 years old. So they will give their daughter out in marriage. So how is she going to be a good wife? Somebody that needs to be educated, so somebody that needs to acquire knowledge and also have a degree before you can plan for marriage, all this and that. So Sanusi has been criticizing them and they were not happy with him. So Sanusi was removed because he's been complaining about the high level of poverty in the north. So Sanusi was removed because he's been talking or criticizing or discussing about the high level of illiteracy in Kano or in the north. So, giving birth to hundreds of children, why you only sell Jero? Some of them, they are selling Jero and their leaders continue to advising them to marry more than 4 wives. Some people, they criticize Sanusi that he is complaining why some people have more than 1 wife and then he himself has 3 wives. But he has defended himself because he has capacity. He's a rich man. So don't compare the rich man and poor man. He's just giving them advice that is like they are causing problem from themselves and then misinterpret the verses of the Holy Quran. That is in the Quran that a Muslim must marry 4 wives. But that is a very wrong interpretation. So if you check Quran 4, verse 4, so it says that فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة. We have said this many times. The Quran puts clause that if you are unable to satisfy them financially, so don't attempt to marry more than one wife. Because he said, Masna wa sulasa fa'in khiftum, if you are afraid of justice between the 2 or 3 or 4 wives, or any fawahidatan, one wife is the best for you. Go and check it yourself. So فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَلَّا تَعُولُوا. One wife is the best. So against problem, against the calamity. So these are the message Sanusi is passing to his people, but they misquoted him. They said that why is he saying that they should marry only one wife, all this and that. So all this caused problem for Sanusi in Kano. So, and also he's been fighting for power while lavishing in poverty. So these are the things that cause problem for Sanusi Lamido in Nigeria. So number 14, Sanusi said, building thousands of mosques across the state instead of building schools. So that is why their leaders continue building mosques. So spending billions of naira in building mosques that could not earn them money because they will just close the mosque until the time for prayer. So why don't them use this money to help the Alumanjiris and also use the money to build school, to educate their children, because most of them, they are they have they need knowledge. So these are the things Sanusi has been saying, and then he caused problem for himself for saying this in Nigeria. So that is number 14. And also he's been criticized Al-Manjiri, that why is it that in the northern part of Nigeria they have too many Al-Manjiris begging on the streets, and also it's been known to international community that this is very bad. So they were not happy with this, what Sanusi has been saying. So number 15, Sanusi criticized his people for denying girl child education and against early marriage for girls, as I said, what was supposed to be in school. So, but Sanusi's people were not happy with what Sanusi has been saying. Number 16, the reason why Sanusi Lamido dethroned. Sanusi against Ganduje's second term bid of governor 2019. As you all know, in Nigeria, the governors, when you become governor in Nigeria, the first thing that comes to your mind that you will stay in that power for 8 years. Why? Because many governors has done that successively. So that is why. So the first 4 years, so they will embezzle all their allocations. So when election approaches, they start campaigning, and they start building. They may start build some schools or this and that, distributing rice for the masses. So in order to attract their hearts to vote for them for the second term. So now there are some states whereby the governor cannot even point to any achievement of 4 years. Why coming back again? So, and Sanusi reviewed Ganduje's administration. So, and he criticized Ganduje that why is he coming back for second term. So, and after Ganduje heard about this, that Sanusi is not supporting this bid, so this also added to his problem. So he was caught because Ganduje was caught on camera collecting bribe, so collecting dollars from the contractor. The video went viral on social media. Even the video is still there. You will see Ganduje collecting dollar, putting the dollar in his pocket, the old governor of Kano State. And this money regards as corruption. So these are the things Sanusi was not happy with, and he challenged Ganduje. You know, Sanusi is fearless traditional ruler and outspoken. So he fear nobody. So this caused problem for Sanusi. Number 17, Sanusi has criticized what he described as ultra-conservative interpretation of Islam. So in some part of the northern Nigeria, so that has discouraged the education of girls, family planning, and other progressive policies. That is, Sanusi was telling his people that don't misinterpret Islam, that Islam is a very good religion, and also don't create problem for yourself, because Islam advises Muslims not to create problem for themselves, and don't attempt to do to do beyond your capacity. La tukallif nafsa illa ma usaha. So Sanusi, you know, is after he finished in Bayero University, he traveled to Sudan. He studied Arabic and Islamic studies, and because, you know, in Kano you have to study Arabic, and that is part of their culture and Islamic studies. So that is why he's been, you see that when he's talking, he may quote Quran, and also he can speak Arabic as well. So, and that is why even before he was dethroned, he lead prayer in Kano Emir's Palace. Every Friday he leads prayer. So he's been enlightening them about the true Islam, but they misinterpreted and misquoted Sanusi, and most of the people who are in the corridor of power were not happy with him, and they caused problem and dethroned him. So number 18. So I worked hard to get information, and you will see everything I'm saying, or all the information I'm revealing, is facts. So me, I don't reveal any unconfirmed information. So I've been trained for that. So dethroned Emir Sanusi is a fearless traditional ruler, as I said. So not even shy about voicing his opinion. So, and which against the tradition of Kano. So, and most of the time, the Kano people or northern people, there are some things they are expecting you not to talk about it, either good or bad. And so Sanusi was telling them that this is old style. So this is new age. The world has changed. So all this old style, you have to let it go. So if you know you want development for your children and the community. So these are the 18 reasons. So I worked hard to work on, so for us to know the reason why so Sanusi Lamido was dethroned. And ask yourself as well and review all these 18 reasons. And now you will now see the reason why. So why Nigeria cannot move forward. You will see that any public figure criticizing government or trying to change the system, so telling them the fact, so that person will become enemy. So if it is possible to murder that person, they will kill him. But Sanusi cannot be killed because they know that it may cause problem. So for them, and the only thing they can do to punish him and also to disgrace him is to dethrone him, because no concrete or reliable evidence. So within all the official documents and investigation we have done so far, so because regarding to the allegation of corruption, he has defended himself. So that is the country where we found ourselves. So you are planning to become governor in Nigeria, or you are planning to become councillor, you are planning to become senator, you are planning to become House of Rep member, or you are from royal family, so you are planning to become king or oba. So now when you become or when you achieve this position, are you going to at this? You see, Nigeria is telling us that we should just keep our mouth shut on anything that are the factual issues. So because that is the message Ganduje is selling or is sending to the world, because this guy dethroned because he was challenging them to do the right thing. Because Ganduje himself said it in the media that I dethroned Sanusi because he was criticizing me publicly. So governor said it. So now the deposed emir instructed his lawyer to file the case as a legal remover and challenge the Kano State governor. So, but the experience of similar case in Nigeria shows that reclaiming such seats that has been lost through court is an uphill task. It is very very hard. So when any Oba or king dethrone, really, because Awujale, I think, was dethroned as well, but it was Konedia, second in command to Abacha, helped Awujale. So it's rare. Now, and also he will not challenge throne, and he said, Sanusi said he will not challenge the throne. So God should allow the throne to go. Maybe something is keeping, maybe God is keeping something good for him in future. So he has accepted the fate. He has accepted what happened in good faith. And also he said that is happy that he has achieved within 6 years as the emir of Kano. So Governor Eli Rufai of Kaduna also has appointed Sanusi into board member. So a day after his dethronement, and offered him a great assistance. So El Rufai really tried for Sanusi, and also he has been appointed by United Nations also. So he has been given a juicy appointment. So how Sanusi Lamido defended himself from us those allegations. Before I moved into that, this Aminu, the current one that just been appointed, he studied mass communication. So he studied mass communication. So, and also there's a picture, I think I've posted that picture. You will see him sitting at the back of Sanusi Lamido when he was EMIR. And also, as I said, God chooses who he will. So Aminu never think of becoming a mayor of Kano. So, but now as God has destiny, him that's going to be Emir of Kano. So congratulations to him. So as I said that Sanusi Lamido also defended himself against all those allegations. I will bring what he said to you, and then so that you understand this. Then there's something that I need to mention here, very important. Late Governor of Kano State, Abubakar Rimi, I watched a very brief amateur video with there is a journalist called Lekan Alabi. Lekan Alabi is a journalist. So he conducted a successful interview in 1982 with Abubakar Rimi, who was late. He was the governor of Kano State. He's late now. So in that video, so Abubakar Rimi said, he said that, I quote, he said, EMIR is a public office holder. EMIR is a public office holder paid with public fund, appointed for the pleasure of the state governor, and can be removed. So EMIR can be removed anytime. That is what he said. So Rimi said that apparently reacting to the, so he said this because there was a conflict between himself and the Emir of Kano that time. So, and he said, so just review this. He said, let me read it again. Emir is a public office holder. So for those people asking me the question why governor is powerful to remove Emir or Oba or king in Nigeria. So Emir is a public office holder paid with public fund, so appointed for the pleasure of the state governor and can be removed anytime. So then we should not forget that before the announcement of any emir or king or Alaafin in Nigeria, the letter must go to the governor's office. After the kingmaker has concluded, the ruling house, they will invite all the ruling houses that they should just give them the next king. So without the approval of the governor's office, no announcement of any king or emir in Nigeria. So you should know from that they have power to remove them. Who appoints Sanusi Lamido? So it was Rabiu Kankazo, former governor of Kano State. So, and the present Kano State governor removed him. So that is what is happening in Nigeria. Among Mabu wars, what Sanusi has said. Sanusi, just few hours after he was dethroned, Sanusi said that Ganduje dethroned Sanusi from the throne, and as I said, so he created a video, just brief video, immediately after he was dethroned. He said that he has accepted what Almighty Allah as destiny, and he accepted it in good faith. The throne of an emir is not permanent. Every king and leader should know this. If it was a permanent throne, I wouldn't have been the emir of Kano. Before I came, someone was emir. Someone else was there. Whatever God says, your time on the throne is over. So if you don't leave with your legs, so people will carry your body out of the palace. So it is God that gives power, and it is God that takes power. So Sanusi concluded in that short video. So apart from this, when they sent him the sack letter that he has been dethroned, so he quoted that verse I read in the beginning, Quran 3. So that's Kulila Mamalka. That is what Sanusi, he wrote it in Arabic. So, and he sent it to them. So that maybe God has destiny that is not going to rule Kano beyond that 6 years. So now, Sanusi Lamido posted his statements on social media, and also I received this statement from somebody very close to him. And number one, Sanusi Lamido said that the Kano state government accused him of corruption, that the embezzlement of Emirates finance, all this and that. So Sanusi said that there are no corruption allegations against me. So number two, he said there was never anything like 3 billion or even 2 billion in the Emirate Council accounts when I became emir. So Sanusi said this. Now, for those people asking him where he got the money to buy Rolls Royce, so he answered that question as well. Sanusi said the Rolls Royce they talked about were bought by my two friends. He said Kola Karim and Bola Shagaya. So we know Bola Shagaya is a very rich woman, and Kola Karim also is a very rich man. So he said both of them so helped him, and they bought that white Rolls Royce. He said this is normal. The late Emir's limousine were bought by Aminu Dantata and Fernandez and Isiaka Rabiu, Sani Abacha and Ahmed Muazu. So Ahmed Muazu. So everyone has friends and well-wishers. Number four, Sanusi defended himself. He said, I am renovating the palace, that is Emir's palace, at any expense, drawing my overdraft with First Bank and liquidating assets, and I don't mind being paid over a long period. And if I am not paid back by the government, so it is still fine, because the decision to use personal resources was mine. Number five, Sanusi said Now, this famous photo of my romancing a woman in public. First, this was a public event, and it could have been anyone, and it wouldn't matter in any way, but as it happened. So this lady is called Mariam. Her grandmother, Fulani Halin, is the daughter of the late Emir Bayero and still lives in the palace. She's my cousin and has always loved photos. So the second picture, the SA. So SA, that is special assistant to the governor. He said posted was this one. This woman is Mariam Lamido Sanusi ni Maitama. She's my cousin and my second wife. We have been married for 25 years. And she's the mother of 6 of my 12 children. So the photo was taken many years ago when I took her to Mauritius, and this was on a Valentine Day. Okay, I am sorry if Northern Conservative Society has a problem with a man romancing his wife on a beach, and embarrassed that a private family picture is online, but this is not a crime. This is not a crime. So Sanusi defended himself. So on allegation of that picture posted on social media. Number 8, Sanusi said, Sarauta, only Sarauta ban abinda ya fita dadi. Kazauna aginda abunza alikait agaida tambari azok agaishika. So watakila ma baka gaizua. Support and praise every government and avoid causing them offense. So I am thinking maybe the biggest problem I have is that I believe people expect more from Sharakuma Shu. Maybe they don't. Time for reflection. Let all sit down, look and watch the North be destroyed. Emirs so should not talk. That is, when Emir is seeing anything that is bad, he should not criticize them. He should just leave them to destroy. Number 9, he said, Kola Karim, the MD of Costain and Shoreline, is an old friend of mine. Right from my banking day, Bola Shagaya was classmates in SBS 1977 and economics class in 1978 to 1978 in Abuja, in ABU, so Adobayero University, Zaria. So these were their contributions to me. They asked, what can I do? And I said, buy me new cars. That is when he became Emir. They asked him, so what they can do for him to support him. So, and he requested from them to buy him nice car, and they bought that Rolls Royce. So the limousine here are all antiquated and dead. So number 10, Sanusi said the only sad thing about all this nonsense is that it was posted by an SA to the governor. He said the SA to the governor himself posted this. He did not even try to be smart and assign someone to do it for him. So that is, he's saying that that guy so it's not smart enough. Number 11, Sanusi said, and what is all the noise about? I never insulted northern people. I said the poverty level in the north are among the highest in the world. How does that become insulting people? I also said it is time to build light rail. But please let the private sector do this. So let the private sector do it, and don't borrow 800 billion. 800 billion to build just 10 kilometers of the urban rail. I did not abuse anyone or call any name or insult anyone. I said the federal government is spending 66% of its revenue on interest payments, quoting the IMF Article 4. And when you are in a debt this big, so you don't dig. So states have just been bailed out of debt by CBN. They should not be piling more debt for future generation. So these are the things Sanusi has been fighting for. So their resources should be for education and health, where in this did I insult either politicians or the people? So with question mark, Sanusi is asking. I have reflected over and over on my speech, and I still don't see what I said that is so wrong and offensive. I don't say the North cannot survive as a country. After all, Niger Republic is there with some help from Paris. I didn't say that the North in the past had no glory. I know it has a rich history. I didn't say the North cannot be rich and better. I think it can, and it is a disgrace. We are. So these are the key points. So Sanusi sent to the media to defend himself against the allegation of many things they have said so far. And also he said in another platform, he said father who sent their children out to beg for arms should be arrested. So Sanusi ló sọ eléyìí náà. So àwọn nǹkan tí these are the things that Sanusi said end him problem. So now what people say about Sanusi Lamido. So as I said, that many people have said many things, including Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo also wrote him a letter, so I have the copy of the letter Obasanjo sent to Sanusi Lamido regarding to this deposition of Sanusi Lamido. Some of the what Sanusi said, or I can regard as a remarks as well. Sanusi said every region is abusing the North, that they are the poorest. So none of their governors sees nothing to it. So it shouldn't continue like that. So Sanusi said this as well. So he said as well, before I move to what people said, So Sanusi said as well, he said, you have to choose whether you want to remain a slave wearing a turban or a free man without a turban. The truth will always prevail. So who will liberate the North from the poverty and Al-Majiris? So you said other tribes are abusing you and you got intelligent men. So these are the Mabu was from Sanusi Lamido. Now, what people say about him, or what people say about his removal from throne, as I said, many people, they have sent many comments and some opinion, views about Sanusi Lamido, positively and negatively. So when I'm reporting, I balance my reporting, so I'll bring what people said. Somebody said that EMIR Sanusi's deposition, he said monarchy has reduced, so has been reduced to trash. He said then there is one scholar called Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. Sheikh Ahmed Gumi is notable scholar. He said that what happened to Sanusi Lamido is a very sad news. He said monarchical system of leadership in the country has outlived its usefulness and relevance. He said, for Islam, leadership is never by birth. Leadership is never by birthright, but consensus. That is shura in brackets. So of the population, and it's exactly what negates schism as a erratic sect that developed from this alleged hereditary succession of power. So one of the journalists, Dele Momodu, so Dele Momodu is a notable journalist, publisher of Ovation, also reacted to the dethronement of Emir of Kano. So Dele Momodu claimed that the Kano state governor, Ganduje, and his co-conspirators, in quotes, he said, got their profound of flesh by dethroning Sanusi. The publisher of Ovation magazine reminded Ganduje and his allies that power is transient and not permanent. That is, they should remember that that Ganduje also will leave that position one day. He will become ex-governor of Kano State, and what he did now will be remembered for life. That who dethroned Sanusi Lamido, so his name will appear instantly. So he said further, their eyes will clear and see later that their power is transient. No matter the sins of Sanusi Lamido, so no matter the sins of Emir Sanusi, he is one of the finest citizens of Nigeria. And he ended his quote, Ìjà ìlara kò tán bọ̀rọ̀. So Anju wọ́n kò ṣeé wí lẹ́jọ́. So that is in English. that is jealousness. Jealousness has no end. So whenever you buy something, you show some people, they pretend to be happy. Meanwhile, inside them, they are very, very sad. So they are not happy with your progress. So that is what they call Ilara. And it can never end, because when you buy a house, you show them they were not happy. Does it mean are you going, so you will stop buying things for yourself? No. So they will continue in sad mood as you are continuing progressing. So that is what the journalist is saying. Then there is another group led by Bashiru Tofa. Bashiru Tofa was opposition candidate to MK Abiola during Babangida, when they set up two-party SDP and NRC that time. So Bashiru Tofa is from Kano, is a rich man as well. So he himself led a group to show their sympathy, that they were not happy how Ganduje removed Sanusi Lamido. So their organization, they have organization called Advocate for United Kano. So they said what Ganduje did, they describe it as a shock and illegal. So that is, it is illegal action. So that is how they describe what Ganduje did. Professor Wole Soyinka and Chief Femi Falana. So Femi Falana is a notable senior advocate of Nigeria and human activities. So they condemned the illegal removal of fearless Sanusi Lamido. So they said the action is unconstitutional. So Wole Soyinka said the action is illegal as well. So what they did was wrong. So that is what they said. Then there is somebody called Aliyu Shuaibu. So Ali Shuaibu is from Kano. He said what did he do to alleviate the condition of the poorest of the people in Kano? So this guy challenged Sanusi that Sanusi may be rich, he may have money, but he never see any tangible or positive things he uses money for to help the poor in the Kano. Why is he talking about poor people? So the guy said talk and talk without end. That guy was in love with press sensationalism. So EMIR is a father of all and should not engage in politics. Though I am not happy with the development, that is not happy with what happened to Sanusi. So on the other hand, so he sees nothing Sanusi did so to help the poor people. Then Abdussalaami he said that they want to remain rankadede. So truth is a crime in the north. So truth is a crime in the north and in Nigeria. That is what Muhammad Aminu said. That is what Abdussalaami said. Then Muhammadu Aminu Umar, he said, Wallahi, how sad the kind of idiots we have as a leader in the north. So that is what he said. Then Olamide Atoke Garuba, he said how some governor can just remove a crown emir like that, just like that, because they have issues. So may God help us in this country. So emir in the north, in the northern part, is now a political appointment. So that is what he said. Muhammadu Sadiq Abubakar, he said Sanusi has to leave Kano because it is the government that will choose where he will move to. So we saw Dasuki, how he settled in Kaduna, and Mustafa Jokolo had to be exiled too. Ibrahim Aminu, Ibrahim said that it has happened before what happened to Sanusi. Governor Alero removed Emir of Gbandu. General Abacha removed Sultan Dasuki. So it is a very sad. So that's what he said. Alhaji Kunle Sani also comments. He said, I am a friend of Sanusi Lamido since his MSSN days. Even if Abdullahi Ganduje, the naive governor of Kano State, did not remove him, with his radical approach to life and power bestowed on our governor by the constitution, one governor one day will still remove him. Sanusi is one of the most cerebral, dynamic, creative, and intelligent mind in this country. Unfortunately, when Allah was distributing diplomacy, he wasn't around. So he is blunt to a fault and ventilates his strong opinion without caring whose ox is God. So today is a sad day for me when I reflect what Islam and populace will lose without a sagacious and intellectually endowed person like Sanusi. So the guy is saying that sometimes you have to be diplomatic when it comes to factual issues. He's advising Sanusi that not every fact are allowed to said, but so somebody that's been built up like that, and also, and tó bá jẹ́ olóòótọ́, it will be like pain for somebody who is blunt to say the truth when the truth comes. So he will say it bluntly. So, but this guy is advising Sanusi so to be diplomatic. He said that Sanusi has been doing that for a long time. He said Sanusi lambasted the governor not to be sensitive to the hearing of the people of Kano, and then he said when Sanusi was then a general manager at UBA, United Bank of Africa, where Kano State government had substantial lodgements. So Konkazo asked UBA to sack Sanusi Lamido or lose their lodgement in UBA. So then the management of UBA appealed to Sanusi to apologize to the governor. But instead of apologizing, he resigned. You see, man of integrity. So he resigned from his appointment as a general manager in the UBA. Immediately he left UBA, he was offered the post of executive director in First Bank, from where late Yaradua appointed him as governor of Central Bank. So it is on record that he stabilized our banking system and got rid of the bank executives who were fleeing fat on the depositors' fund. So it was his fertile brain that created AMCON, that allow investors with beautiful ideas to have access to fund without any hassles. So it was after Sanusi's exit from the central bank that AMCON was bastardized and investors started buying private jets from the AMCON loan. You see? So when he resumed at Central Bank, that is when Sanusi was appointed as a CBN governor, he criticized the big emoluments of the National Assembly, saying it was not sustainable. National Assembly was furious and invited him, asking for an apology. Sanusi Lamido refused to apologize. This guy is saying that he refused to tell them they can sack him. So Sanusi told them that they can sack him because his father's name was not governor of Central Bank. So when he finished with National Assembly, he accused the Jonathan administration that there was a 20 billion shortfall of oil money remittance to federal purse. He came with incontrovertible evidence of kerosene sale. By top government officials that went into billions of naira. So he prognosticated that if oil price should go below $60, so Nigeria will go into recession, and his prediction was proved right at the end of the day. So his criticism of the theft of oil sales led to his sack against the constitutional provision by President Jonathan. So by Allah's providence and against Jonathan's government's position, he became the Emir of Kano. So the radicalism in his blood would not make him appreciate that there is a need for diplomacy. The guy is still saying that Sanusi must be diplomatic, so in reality. So he was not comfortable with what he regarded as the lack of justice performance. So performance of Ganduje, and he publicly campaigned against his second term. So immediately Ganduje won. His immediate agenda was to remove Emir Muhammadu Sanusi from power. So many spurious and or substantial allegations were put on his neck. So when all the committees set up to remove him were hampered by court action, Ganduje decided on a kangaroo move, which culminated in the removal of the 13th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi, the second, so today. So that was the same fate that befell his grandfather in the regime of late Sir Ahmadu Bello, so late premier of the then northern region. So I've explained all this in the beginning. So it was Okonjo Iweala, so who wrote "Fighting Corruption is Dangerous in Nigeria." So try to get a copy of that book. So she was a minister of Goodluck Jonathan. So Francis Atuche and his 125 billion graft from bank. So who brought it to light? So then Erastus Akingbola of Intercontinental Bank and his huge 179 billion loot in the defunct Intercontinental Bank, who brought it to light? So Oceanic Bank CEO and an endless list of shadow companies and seized properties and billions of naira that was published in the newspaper, who brought it to light? So he then went to remove all bank MD and CEO who had been in office for more than 10 years, so that banks are not built around individuals but around proper corporate governance structure. So these are the achievements of Sanusi Lamido when he was a CBN governor. That was done to make banks sustainable and also to show that other persons, including women like Ibukun Awosika of First Bank, also could aspire to be CEO and chairman too. So I dare say, if there was no Sanusi, we will never even be able to dream of having a female bank chairman in Nigeria. Talk less of a woman at the helm of affair of Nigeria oldest bank, FBN. So he then demanded that all banks have a reserve of 400 billion to ensure that banks don't fold up overnight and disappear with depositors' money. So he stabilized all banking institutions and forced the weaker banks to merge so that we wouldn't have any more collapses. Banks like AfriBank, Savannah Bank, Society General Bank, so etc. So now you can comfortably put your money in the bank and go to sleep, knowing that a bank won't just disappear overnight and leave depositors stranded. So this was the work of Sanusi Lamido did for Nigeria. The ungrateful people who like to hail their oppressors. So he was recognized internationally for it and for having the courage to make such a bold move. But the moment he began to probe what was going on in the oil sector over unremitted funds running into billions of dollars in Nigeria, so they politicized the matter and said it was because he was a northerner. So can you imagine? And if you don't know all the looting that was going on during Jonathan's tenure, I will assume that you have been living under a rock. So they said no money was missing. So Jonathan's government denied that no money was missing after Sanusi Lamido exposed them. And they said no money was missing, that it was northern agenda, and you believed that. Meanwhile, in universities in the US, they sit down to discuss the kind of blatant theft and irregularities that go on in the Nigerian oil sector. And in fact, it was a court in London, 2014, that uncovered how Nigerians OML 245, that is oil block, was sold by Diziani to Shell for $1.1 billion. So she sold oil block to Shell for $1.1 billion, and the money was never remitted into Nigerians' treasury, but into a shadow company called Malabu Oil Company. So distribution to private pockets. So in 2014, the government itself gang up and said they wanted to probe him for his time as a CBN governor, and he begged them to probe him, knowing that his record was impeccable. So nobody could bring one single allegation against him, against Sanusi Lamido. And I wailed the day that he took up the seat of Emir of Kano, knowing that his talent and character would be of much better use on the global stage in the limited traditional power of a subjugated monarchy. You see, when we put politics aside and start focusing on getting work done, so then perhaps we will be ready for progress. So till then, keep looking at who is northerner or southerner, or who is APC or PDP, why they are all looting you dry. Sanusi Lamido, your legacy will remain celebrated by those who want progress over policy and politics. When the country is ready for the progress, they will seek for people like you. Please take your place on the world stage with the likes of Sanusi. So, Eri Oronlani. So, Oronlani, as a journalist as well, we've written many articles when he was a governor of CBN, and also we have seen what happened during Jonathan's government. So how Sanusi was fired. So because he exposed many corruption within the bank industry in Nigeria. So and now he became EMIR as well. He continued criticizing the governor for corruption, and now this caused a problem for him. And then he's planning, according to some of his well-wishers, advocating for him to contest for president 2023, that somebody like this will change Nigeria. And I told them that Sanusi need to be diplomatic. If not, he cannot rule Nigeria. Because I have experience, 8 years, I worked in National Assembly, so as a political correspondent. So Nigeria government is controlled by 5 people. So if Sanusi become president in Nigeria, so he has to work with his vice president. So he must work with his vice president. You must work with the whoever becomes Senate president. You must work with whoever becomes Speaker of the House of Representatives and the chairman of the ruling party. So these are the 5 people that they are moving the seat of power in Nigeria. So that is why Buhari is having problem, because most of his decisions sometimes he may not take them along. So, and he created many problems for himself. He's trying to do good thing. He's trying to fix some problem, but he is creating more problem for himself. Because Nigeria, you have to understand Nigeria first. Then you have to understand the way the Nigerian government runs. It's different from how UK run their government. It's different from how US run US government. It's different how they run Canada's government. So Nigeria is a very complex. You know, they have polluted religion with politics. Then nepotism is there. You know, we have about 25 tribes in Nigeria. So they just categorize us as that we are Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. What about the Fulani, TV, Ishekiri, Kanuris? So the other, you have to understand the culture of each tribes in Nigeria. You have to understand their language. You have to understand their body language. You have to understand what they like, what they don't like. So, and there are some things, if you continue criticizing them, they will create problem. So for you, so if Sanusi Lamido is having intention to become president in 2023, because they may use him against Tinubu if Atiku was not being picked. So if Atiku is not being picked as a presidential candidate, I know Atiku will contest again. And if Sanusi Lamido join APC, Ganduje may apologize in future and he may become minister. It's possible. It's not possible in Nigeria. And Buhari may prefer Sanusi Lamido than Atiku, because PDP, they have ruled the nation for 16 years. Don't forget, Obasanjo rules for 8 years. It's a PDP. So Jonathan also ruled. It's a PDP. Yaradua also was in PDP. So now, this is second term of Buhari. So 2023, Buhari must end his government administration because he has ruled for 2 terms. Now, they may say what stops them as APC also to continue and bring somebody else. So as we all know, the election in Nigeria is always, there is always corruption in our electoral system. So they choose whom they want, not by votes, not your votes. Sometimes they don't count your votes, so they decide what they like. That is their system. So I've been there, I know the system very well. So now they may decide to give Sanusi Lamido tickets. Because now he has regained his freedom, he can move to anywhere. So all those banishment has been broken. So now the court has he has been granted freedom. So because many Yorubas, they don't want Tinubu to become president. Why? Because they have seen Tinubu that he has achieved a lot. He has produced governors, vice president. He produced EMIR, and also he has many of his people that he has trained. He really tried. He has helped a lot of people, Tinubu. And they may say that he has been governor 8 years in Lagos State. So Nigeria may decide that they need new person, new face. So Sanusi is well reserved, as also he has experience in economy, and our economy is so bad. So they may decide to pick him, so to run against Tinubu. You know, when 2023 comes, they will give ticket, presidential ticket. They may give it to 15, 10 people, the same party. Then you will now hear about consensus. You step down for this or this and that. So, and Buhari will never rig the next election. So, for other parties. So, because they want APC also to continue, like PDP also has ruled for 16 years. So, or new party may emerge 2023. Tinubu may, Buhari may not need assistance of Tinubu again, because he has used him. because Buhari doesn't need Tinubu anymore. Because so they may, and Buhari, don't forget, is a Fulani, and Sanusi Lamido is a Fulani as well. So Atiku also is a Fulani, but he has been vice president of Obasanjo, and he's been struggling to become president. So, you know, with Buhari also struggled 3 times before he won. So Atiku, they may decide between Atiku or Sanusi, but they may prefer Sanusi, because some Yoruba may say, why this man is saying this? Why Northerners should rule again? Yoruba is the next. What about the Igbo? So I don't know why people, they are not thinking why Igbo has not been president. So they are blocking Igbos to become president because of the Biafra. They are thinking that if Igbo become president in Nigeria, they will divide Nigeria, and that Biafra may go, and it may lead to civil war, another civil war. So that is why they are blocking them. So, but Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. So this country is for the 3 tribes. So they have to balance all this. So, but I'm saying that because Sanusi has a very good record, go and check. That man is a very reserved man, and is according to all these things that I've said so far, you used to go and check, and also you will see that he resigned from UBA because he said the truth and they were not happy with it. So, and also he's ready to leave CBN. So because he exposed the government. So, you know, and now he has been dethroned from his ancestor's throne because he's from royal family. And I told you his father was ambassador as well. So Sanusi is from a very reserved family, and also is somebody that, to me, to the little understanding of my opinion, so he may revive our economy. So if they allow him to rule, and I'm sure Ganduje will apologize. We'll see. Let's just wait and see. So, because these are the comments, so of somebody about Sanusi Lamido, and then he has worked with Obasanjo. So Olusegun Obasanjo also wrote a letter. I have already posted that letter, but I will read the letter again. So I will read the letter. Olusegun Obasanjo, he wrote a letter to Sanusi Lamido, dated March 9. Ni bàbá kọ lẹ́tà yìí. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is one of the former Nigerian presidents. So Baba said His Royal Highness Alhaji Sanusi Lamido, former Emir of Kano, because Baba also has received information that he has been dethroned. So now Baba said, Your Royal Highness and brother, I woke up this morning, and after my morning exercise, Babani devotion and my morning meeting with my staff, I had the sad and good news of your removal by the Executive Council of the Kano State Government. It is sad because it was underserved. it is good because you have paid the price. So now it is good you have paid the price. What Baba means that you have been criticizing the northerners, including the governor of Kano, and many things you have been saying. So they were not happy with it. So the price that you have paid now, they have removed you. That is what Baba is saying there. Baba now said that my prayer is that God should give you the fortitude and courage to continue on the path that you have chosen for yourself in the best interest of our country and humanity. Please accept your Royal Highness the assurance of my highest consideration. So yours sincerely, Olusegun Obasanjo. So nǹkan tí Olusegun Obasanjo tó sọ nìyí. You see, Baba Olusegun Obasanjo is when any matters arise, sensitive matter like this, Baba will travel. You see, when Boko Haram issue arise, when they kill one of prominent person in the northern, Baba traveled to try to mediate or this and that. So Olusegun Obasanjo wrote this. Gen.Abubakar Abdussalaami, he said that he doubts it if Buhari was involved in the dethronement of Sanusi Lamido. That is his comment. So when the pressmen asked him, and also his comments on what happened. So negative opinion from the critics. So about Sanusi, there's a guy called Balarabe from Kano. So he said Sanusi spent billions to renovate his palace and 37 million naira on phone calls in 3 years. He furnished his palace with 152.6 million, and he bought vehicles worth almost 200 million. He had a personal library worth hundreds of millions, all at taxpayers' expenses. Please Google everything I just wrote. Ideal, in fact. That is how the guy put it. So I'm just quoting somebody. So not speculation. How much did he spend on the Alimajiri? So how much did he spend on Alimajiri? So the writer of this comments is asking that question. So there is another guy called Asari Dokubo. He released an amateur video as well on what happened to Sanusi Lamido. He accused him. He called him unbearable name. He described him as fraudster or this and that. He was asking Sanusi where he got the money to buy more than 4 expensive cars as well. So these are the views of other people. As I said in the beginning, that there are some people, what they say, so to balance the reporting about the what happened to Sanusi. There's a guy called Wule Dawit Jerry. Also, he said that he has done nothing for the poor. So that is, Sanusi has not done anything for the poor apart from the criticism so he does against the government. So they said that Sanusi has not done anything for the poor. He only good in criticism, according to this guy, Jerry. There's another person called Mr. Atedo Peterside. Only is founder of Stanbic Bank. So this guy condemned the action of Ganduje for removing or for the removal of Sanusi Lamido. So they describe it as illegal. So that's the action of Ganduje. So they describe it as disrespectful of human rights. So that is what is said. So as I said, that the how Sanusi regained his freedom. So the daughter of Sanusi Lamido, Barrister Siddiqa Muhammadu Sanusi, was in Federal High Court, Abuja, as she argued against the banishing of her father to Nasarawa State, and she won the case. So the ruling was delivered by Justice Chikere at the Federal High Court in Abuja. So the justice ordered the IG, DSS, DG immediate release of the former Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido. So the court gave the order pending the determination of the case. Mr. Sanusi had on Thursday applied, so he applied, asking the court to order his release. So the suit filed on Thursday was brought according to Section 34, 35, 40, 41, and 46 of the 1999 Constitution, and Order 4 Rule 4 of the Federal High Court. So Sanusi was granted an interim order of his honorable court releasing the application from the detention. So confinement of the respondent and the restoring the applicant rights to human dignity, personal liberty, freedom of association and movement in Nigeria. So they allow Sanusi can move to anywhere, unlike Mustafa Jokolo, unlike Dasuki, Sultan Dasuki, when they were banished. So upon granting the above request, so the former Central Bank Governor, CBN, Sanusi Lamido, also argued the court to make an order granting leave to the applicant to effect service of his order alongside the organizing motion and subsequent processes. So on all respondents. So the Inspector General of Police, Muhammadu Adamu, the Director General of the State Security Services, SSS, Yusuf Bichi, Attorney General of Kano State, and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, so are the first, second, third, and fourth respondents respectively. So that is how Sanusi won the case. So the team of lawyers led by Lateef Fagbemi, also urging the court to grant their request, said the health of the applicant is a subject of concern. So Fagbemi said that before the pronouncement of the Kano State government deposing the applicant, the palace of the applicant was already evaded by the first and second respondents. So the lawyer further said that there is no criminal proceeding pending against the applicant, that is Sanusi. There is no evidence Ipe Ojale or he embezzled Emirates money. So the applicant has offered not to go to Kano until the determination of the originating summon. So ruling on the application on Friday, the judge, Anwuli Chikere, granted prayers 1 and 2 respectively. She further heard that the respondents are to be served the originating summon with 5 days and the respondents to reply within 5 days. So Justice Chikere adjourned the case to March 26. So in court to witness the day's proceeding were the ousted Emir's sister Zainabu Sanusi and his daughter Khadija Sanusi also. So Sanusi's daughter defeats IG and Ganduje on constitutional acts against her father in court. So please invest money on your daughters, because invest money on sons as well, so or anyone who needs your help, because they may be your savior tomorrow. So as I said, that Sanusi invested money on his children, so on education, on some other thing, so that they can be useful. Now you see, Sanusi achieved his aim, so today, for having a barrister as one of his children. So who is Sanusi Lamido? I will just give you just brief information about who is Sanusi Lamido. So Sanusi Lamido was born to a ruling class Fulani family of the Sulumbawa clan. And his father, Aminu Sanusi, was a career diplomat who served as a Nigerian ambassador to Belgium. He has been ambassador to China, to Canada, and later served as a permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So he was also the Chiroma of Kano. So his grandfather, Muhammadu Sanusi I, so was the 11th Emir of Kano from 1953 to 1963. So when he was deposed by his cousin, so Ahmadu Bello, that sacked his grandfather, they were cousins, you see. So there are many lessons from all this thing I'm saying, so that whatever happened to you, so you will now understand. And you see that Sanusi is from a very good family, and his father trained him very well. So he invested money on him, and him as well, so investing money on his own children because of tomorrow. So you that you call yourself a rich man and you are stingy, you don't want to invest money on your children, you will regret it in future. So we have to invest on our children. Stop investing money on houses, cars, because they are worthless. So you have to invest on your children too. So education. Sanusi was educated at King's College in Lagos. So that is how he became a friend of Bukola Saraki. You know Bukola Saraki, so immediate former Senate president. So and Sanusi, they were friends. In fact, Bukola Saraki also involved in helping Sanusi before he became CBN governor during Yaradua. So Sanusi was educated at King's College in Lagos, where he graduated in 1977. Then proceeded to Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where he received a bachelor's degree in economics in 1981. Then he later received master's degree in economics. So 2 years later from the university and lectured at the faculty. So in 1985, Sanusi was hired by Icon Limited, subsidiary of Morgan Guarantee Trust, and Bahrain's Bank in 1997. He joined United Bank of Africa, UBA, working in the credit and risk management division, and he rose through the ranks to the position of general manager. So in 2005, Sanusi became a board member of the executive director in charge of the risk and management control at First Bank of Nigeria. So First Bank in Nigeria is the Nigerian's oldest bank. And one of Africa's largest financial institutions. In January 2009, he was appointed CEO. So Sanusi was the first northerner Nigeria to head the bank. So January 1, 2009, Sanusi was nominated as governor of Central Bank of Nigeria by President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Ki Ọlọ́run kó bá wa kẹ́. So his appointment was confirmed by the Nigerian Senate on the 3 June 2009 during a global financial crisis. So Sanusi's tenure initiated several extensive banking reforms, and the reforms were built around 4 pillars: enhancing the quality of banks, establishing financial stability, enabling healthy financial sector evolution, and ensuring that the financial sector contributes to the real economy. So Sanusi said that the crash in the capital market was due to financial literacy on the part of Nigerian investors. So he led the central bank in rescuing top-tier bank with 400 billion of public money and dismissed their chief executives. So as I said in the beginning, he contributed positively to the reforming of Nigeria banking system. Sanusi, that is a brief what I can say about Sanusi. And also, in addition to that, there was a report on audit report from PwC. They showed that 20 billion. They said that did not got missing and during Jonathan. As they claim. And although the report did raise some questions, including failure of NNPC subsidiary, Nigerian Petroleum Development Company (MPDC) to remit 1.48 billion to the Federation account. But many observers believe the accusation helped foil Jonathan's second term bid in 2015. Àwọn nǹkan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn lásìkò ti Jonathan. My advice for Sanusi Lamido, he himself is a scholar. He has accepted what happened to him. But if he's planning to become president 2023. So he needs to understand many things about how Nigerian government runs its government. Because to be a king or emir is just within the palace and some other traditions, at least, but to run the whole country, so it's a big job. So if he's planning to become president, he needs to start planning now. So finding the problems that we have, then what are the solutions? And as I said, you must work with other people, because Nigeria, we have the problem of leadership. So Nigeria during the colonial era, so was a country where people have an affinity or for a worthy cause. So corruption was very, very low. So our British colonial master made Nigerians appreciate the value of discipline. So regardless of tribe and religion. So the next Nigerian president so must work hard on 5 basic needs. So on security. So security, no security in Nigeria. That is the fact. Number 2, education. We have many geologists, economists, we have professors, we have many people who are well learned, but what their education transform in our economy? What is the useful of their education where the country is like that? It means the education is valueless. So because they need to reform the education system and allow those new people who have something in their head. So Nigeria is tired of old people who have ruled coming back again. Buhari has ruled between 1983 to 85. So now is the president. Obasanjo has ruled 1979. He came again 1999. So Atiku has ruled as vice president with Obasanjo, but he's trying to come again. So Tinubu has been governor of Lagos State. So he's planning to become president 2023. So now, if Sanusi has never been in governor or president, so like this woman as well, Ngozi Nwenwela, that woman is very, very good in economy as well. So Sanusi also is an economist. So people like that, there's some other, or Ngozi Nwenwela, so they have to work together. So on security, on education, on our power sector, because Nigeria is the darkest nation in the whole world. They have to work out why all many projects regarding the power sector fail. So because there are some people, they don't want Nigeria to have stable electricity because of these generators. And if now National Assembly is planning to stop buying generator without providing the solution, the other solution, they have, you see, they have to work on how stability on interrupted electricity. They have to work that one out first before they can ban generators coming to Nigeria. So power sector, education, security, then economy, and quality life of Nigerians. So quality life of citizens, it is very, very important. So the new government must plan how they can introduce social welfare for Nigerians. So if they introduce all this and they work on these basic 5 I mentioned, so Nigeria will be the best country for human beings to live. And the corruption will reduce, and all this attack everywhere is because there is no security. So that is why Nigeria is having such problem. So Nigeria, they need somebody who can understand their feelings. So Nigeria needs somebody who can reform the nation. So Nigeria needs men of proven potential in governance, not experienced criminals groomed by a failed system. So our leaders have looted more than 800 billion US dollar from the revenue of Nigerian crude oil. So we have seen how other members of OPEC utilizes their wealth, so from crude oil into meaningful development to their country. So we need to diversify the economy from oil to non-oil export through the agricultural export terminal. We have seen how Dubai, United Arab Emirates, how they transform their country. We have seen United Kingdom. It's a very good country because they have good leaders. United States of America, they have good leaders. That is why their country is working. So the system is working. Canada, they have good leaders. That is why their system is working. Belgium, their system is working. So Germany, they have system that is working. France, they have system that is working. Until Nigeria gets good leaders who have good intention to rule the nation, not I'm going to the government to join politics to steal money. So if many people have that intention, nothing, they can't move that country. They cannot transform anything unless people that they have vision and they are ready to transform our country. So, and Nigeria needs somebody that will make country safer, so to live. So, and so if Belgium, US, Canada, France, Dubai, they transform their country, why not Nigeria? So the answer is we have bad leaders who are continuing to embezzle the income of our resources and enrich themselves. So that is until that mission is eradicated before anything can come out good in that country. So it is only in Nigeria where snake ate 36 million naira. So rat chased president out of office, missing $25 billion. NNPC contract where $3.2 billion withdrawn in 3 years from NLNG without proper way. So if Nigerians were allowed to access the performances of the councillor, chairmen, governors, ministers, senators, House of Rep members, and other public holders, so there will be no automatic re-election for them, for those people who have ruled before. And that is the fact. So that is where the problem is. So finally, before I leave, before I end this program, as I said, that I will mention about the 11 dethroned king emirs in Nigeria, but I don't have much time now. I will just summarize it. Number one, Emir of Kano, Aliyu Ibn Abdullahi Maje, he was dethroned. So as Emir of Kano, 1894. Then Oba Beni called Oforanwe, so was dethroned. So 1897. he was dethroned. So for monopolizing form of trade, so which British government under Sir Philip Roberts so find displeasing. So he was dethroned. So number 3, Oni of Ife, called Ogboru. So he was deposed by the Ife Palace chiefs. So they get tired of his ruling for 70 years. He ruled Ife for 70 years, and they were tired of his ruling. So they now deceived him. They tricked him to come out of the palace and see something at Atiba. Atiba is another town far to the palace, and then they were not allow him to return back to the palace. So he was angry, and he founded another town called Ife. So that is how he was dethroned. Number 4, so it's not only Sanusi that has been dethroned. Emir of Bauchi, Umar Muhammad, was dethroned in 16 February in 1902. So by the Lord Lugard. So Lord Lugard's second command, Sir William Wallace, for allegation of slave issue. So that is how he was dethroned. Number 5, Olu of Warri, Erejuwa, so also was dethroned. So 19 he ruled between 1966 to 1989. He was dethroned by NCNC, Eastern Party. In 1964, he was dethroned because of his supporter. So he supports late Obafemi Awolowo. So late Obafemi Awolowo of Action Group. So which they are expecting him to support them. So he supports NCNC. So he was dethroned. Timi of Ede Abibu. So Lagunju, he was acclaimed first Muslim Yoruba king, Oba Yoruba. So he was also deposed as well and exiled by British government to Ibadan. They moved him to Ibadan. So he died in 1900. So then number 7, Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́, Ọba Adeniran Adeyemi, the father of the present Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́, also was dethroned. So one dethroned òun náà. Ọba Adediran Adeyemi was dethroned 1955 for political rivalry with Chief Obafemi Awolowo. So who was leading Action Congress. So because Adeniran was supporting NCNC, so led by Nnamdi Azikiwe, then he was deposed. Then number 8, Awujale of Ijebu-Ode, Oba Adenuga Folagbade became Awujale of Ijebu in 1925. So at the age of 33 years. So he was deposed in 1929. They said he's too young to be on that throne. Number 9, Sultan of Sokoto Ibrahim Dasuki, so also was dethroned by late General Sani Abacha, so in 1996, and banished him in Kaduna. So because his son was involved in coup plotting, according to General Abacha. So Abacha asked Dasuki to produce him, and he refused. So they dethroned him. Number 10, Oba Ujale Sikiru Adetona also was dethroned 1981. So after some suspension by panel, then it was they found him guilty, but he was reinstated by Colonel Dia. Òun ló ràn bàbá lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n fi dá padà sí orí ipò. So in conclusion, if this happened to Sanusi Lamido, so it has happened before in the past. So ibi yìí ni màá dúró. But before I leave, so my advice for Nigerian women, come out 2023 and contest as a president so that we can have first female president in Nigeria. So it is when you come out, we see supporters and people we support, and because we never have single woman in Nigeria record as a president since 1960 till now. Even before 1960, when colonial master was ruling us, no women. So I'm advising you, so please, so because maybe if we try woman, maybe they may understand how our country, we want our country to work again to fix all the problem. So accuracy is the politeness of king, because we have been discussing about kingship. So the king can do no wrong. So these are the quotation that we should go home with. So until the kings become philosopher, there will be no end to the trouble of the state. So be a good leader and be a good servant leader. So whatever happens to you, so just know that God knows about it. So you out there, you are a leader, or you are a president, you are a governor, just remember that all of you are guardian and you are responsible for your subjects. That is for those people, for your followers. So whatever you do today shall become stories tomorrow. So many story has become glory. So what kind of story do you want people to write about you? Good or bad, think about it. So my name remain Dr.Daud Awwal, Fimc, CMC. God bless you. Good night.